I want to change the way in which you grow your clinic. Not in some sort of like agency crap. Like, I don't want you to join my agency. I don't have one. Instead, I want you to take full control and full ownership so you have an asset in your clinic. It makes it more valuable if you ever want to sell it, but also gives you full control and ownership so you're not ever renting your growth from anyone else. So let's go through how you can change the way in which you grow your clinic without an agency. Because the real issue that I see is that most people have got no idea what to do when it comes to marketing their clinic or growing their clinic, especially when it comes to actually hiring and growing your team. That if you want to get an associate on board, there's no real plan. Maybe you relied on referrals your whole career, and now to grow it and to expand your team, people who have been referred in generally don't want to go to their associate. Secondly, people end up just copying what others are doing, which is not fun. Sad face. The reason why it's not fun is because most others have no idea what they're doing as well. So it creates this cycle of the blind leading the blind. My son, he's 5, he plays football, soccer, and at that young age, everyone is just like sheep. They just chase the ball around. But that is what clinic owners do mostly when they have no plan. They just follow what one person is doing, and ends up being that no one ever is actually growing their clinic because no one actually has a strategy in place. And everyone ends up frustrated and thinks that outsourcing or doing all these different crazy things is the reason that it's going to grow. It's not. And I'm going to change the way in which you grow your clinic today. If you don't know about me, my name's Elliot. I'm a former marketing manager in several successful multi-million-dollar clinics, and now help clinics literally all over the world grow their practice without using a marketing agency, without doing the typical things that people think they need to do to grow their practice. So, what we're going to go through is the outdated model. And this is the thing which agencies are even running. Because the outdated model says that what we need to do is we are going to run an ad on social media, Google, wherever it is. We will then get people to opt in, and then we will chase the leads. You know what it's like if you've ever done this. The reason, and this works, it does work, but it's just to what extent. This works, or used to work, back in 2018. Things and people have evolved, and this gets harder and harder to run. And this is why people running this, it does work, but it becomes very expensive. So then when people look at this, and you're looking at this as a clinic owner, and you say, right, we're paying an agency $2,000 to $3,000 per month to run this model. They run this exact model. And then you've got ad spend on top, in which you're losing money on that front end to get someone in, plus the agency fees. It just becomes this never-ending cycle of money going out and not enough people coming in, which is why people stop it. This is why the model is fundamentally outdated. We need to change this model. That's what I'm going to show you. Because when we run an ad, most of the time, people don't know how to make good ads. This is even with an agency. The reason why I say this, I see this all the time, is that people will run Canva templates, stock images. They will do things like this. They'll say like, hey, local area, we can help with back pain, neck pain, headaches, migraine, sciatica. One of my favorite ones, which I saw once, was it said, hey, local area, get your chance to ride the wave of wellness with this exclusive summer chiropractic offer. It's like, what does that even mean? There's a whole load of wasted words and space. This is why people can't run ads and want to say, ads don't work for my clinic. They do. Like, these just ads suck. Most ads suck. Secondly, when we're trying to get people to opt in, what happens is people end up making it easy for the right and wrong people. What I mean by that is people will say, I'm going to run a form on Facebook, and they will just ask for their name, email, and phone number, and be like, oh, I can't get hold of these leads. These leads are really poor quality. It's not. You've just set it up really wrong. And then even when they start putting additional steps in, things like that as well, people still say, oh, this is an issue because of X, Y, Z. It's just because you're making it easy for the right people and the wrong people to become a lead. Whereas we want to push away the wrong people. Whereas we want to make it easy for the right people. That's not just about the opt-in. This actually also comes back to what we say in the ad as well. So these two are together. Finally, it becomes harder and harder right now to get hold of people. You constantly feel like you're chasing people, and the people you do get hold of will say, which clinic are you calling from again? There's a few different reasons for that, which I won't get into the detail of that right now, but fundamentally, the whole reason why it's harder and harder to get hold of, and the ones that you do get hold of, is because we just lack trust. This is the main issue which is going on. People don't trust you or your clinic that you can deliver on the promises that you make. They just have no idea about you. And in this world where people are adapted to ads, people are used to it, familiar with it, they need trust. They want credibility and trust behind this. By running ads that say, like, we can help with back pain, neck pain, headaches, migraines, stock images, things like that, you don't build trust. You end up blending in, and then that's what people forget, that you've not actually built any emotional connection to them, which is why there is no trust built and why people forget. Whereas when we can help someone feel understood, that's when we establish trust. That is when you call someone, they're like, I've been waiting for your call. That's how we can build trust. Now, the next question is always, how do we go about building trust and getting more people in, running better ads, things like that? It comes down to changing this whole model. This is a whole fundamental shift that we need to change within your clinic. We don't want to be running this setup anymore. This does not establish trust. It worked in 2018. It does not work now. Instead, we want to run a new model. The new model is a VOC flywheel. VOC just stands for voice of customer, because it looks like this. The VOC, which is voice of customer, is just a way of helping build trust, because the way in which we build trust is to help people feel understood. The way in which we help people feel understood is to just relay back to them what they say to us. That makes it, we establish a connection, we establish trust. You probably already do this in your consultations. That if someone says to you, yeah, hey doc, I've had this back pain for the last 7 years. You know what, right now I can't even pick up my kids out of the cot. You say back to them, okay, so what I'm hearing right now is that you've had this back pain for quite some time. It's been going on. It's been causing you a lot of pain right now. You can't pick up your kids. I'm sure you can't do other activities. So, yes. All you've done is just say back to them what they've said to you. That's it. So this is where the flywheel comes in, is that we can collect what people actually say. So we collect what patients say to you in their own language. And this is what the key part of it. We then create content using that. So then this establishes trust, because it actually puts stuff on your social media, things like that as well, where most people don't. So then this creates a whole customer journey. So when people land on your page, they see content that you created, it establishes trust, builds rapport. They see that you can actually help them because it's all in their own language as well. Then from that content, we can find the winners, and then we just amplify the winners. Not ever testing this on something that doesn't work. We know what already works. We amplify that. So we get that in front of the right people, which then allows us to get new people, because we've already used the language that they've said in this collection phase, in this phase, the first phase, to understand what they say to us. We know the winners in this second phase, and then we amplify that so we get people. From that, this allows us to retain people for longer, because we already know what they are thinking at week 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're just relaying it back to them in their own terms. So when maybe they're thinking, hey, I'm feeling really good, I don't know why I need to continue with care. Well, we can just relay it back to them, what other people have said to us previously, so then we know how we can keep them. By retaining them for longer, this allows us to collect more things, being Google reviews, patient reviews, testimonials, things like that, which, you guessed it, allows us to collect more information from them in their own words, which allows us to create more content as well. This is why it's a never-ending cycle, and you can see why it is better than this outdated method. The reason why as well is because, as I've said, it helps build trust. This is the most crucial thing in marketing. We need to establish trust. The way which we establish trust is to help them feel understood. To help them feel understood, we We use their own language. We talk to them about the issues which they've already told us. This is why the outdated method which agencies, which clinics are running, is just the old linear method. We need to go to this flywheel method. This is what will allow your clinic to succeed, and this is a new growth plan to use.